Apart from each of the elements have the performance criteria which you get assessed against, but there's also required skills and knowledge, the sort of things that you'll develop or display as you're learning this competency and being assessed on it. What I'm going to do is basically read through these. If there's anything I can break down, I will do so, but I might just be basically reading through this because you don't want to read it, or you might have difficulty reading it, and that's one of those things that people do have difficulty with. So, required skills for this competency: the ability to recognise procedures, respond to change, and contribute to workplace responsibilities such as current worksite, environmental or sustainability frameworks or management systems. Can you see what needs to be done? Can you respond to what needs to be done within basically the environmental processes, sustainability frameworks? So how do you reclaim your materials or store stuff away, and basically working to a time frame. Communication skills to enable clear and direct communication using questioning to identify and confirm requirements, share information, listen and understand. So can you speak up? Can you be polite? Can you ask questions to confirm understanding? Can you and make sure you know what you've got to do? Can you share information with the rest of your teammates? You might be a team leader, but you've got to get the information from the foreman and take it back to your team. Can you do that? I think if you're a team leader, you probably will be able to. Can you listen to what's being told to you, and can you show that you understand it? Can you follow instructions, read and interpret drawings and specifications? So can you look at a plan and say, okay, I know what needs to go from here into the project because I can understand the plan and I can do it to the specifications, like using the correct nailing technique, screwing technique, correct strength of concrete, etc. Use and interpret non-verbal communication. When you're on site, it's loud. Stop. I got it. Come this way. Got it. There's lots of different non-verbal communications that you might use. Use language and concepts appropriate to cultural differences. Making sure that you can pass on information, maybe avoiding jargon, making sure you're using clear communication so that people from different cultures can understand what needs to be done, and trying to be culturally sensitive and non-racist when you're on site. Innovation skills to select appropriate tools and equipment, respond to workplace challenges and put ideas into action. Can you show a little bit of impetus to go a little bit further than just follow that instruction? Put forward some ideas that might be a little bit left of centre, outside the box. Numeracy skills to apply measurements. You've got to be able to read a tape measure. You've got to be able to add measurements together to get a total measurement without making a mistake. And if you make a mistake, how do you fix that? Planning and organisational skills to identify requirements, apply relevant resources and sequence tasks. So you'll have the ability to plan and put things into the right sequence to complete the job. Problem solving skills to recognise and take action to rectify minor faults and problems. Do something wrong, how can you fix it? Tool break, still want to get the job done. What's another tool we can use for the process safely? Teamwork skills to be able to work with others to action tasks and relate to people from a range of cultural, social, ethnic backgrounds and with varying physical and mental abilities. Teamwork skills are one of the biggest skills you need to have on the construction site. If you can't work as part of a team, the project's not going to be done efficiently, to time, under cost, without accidents, without mistakes. So you've got to be able to work as part of a team and not argue and not get involved in activities that are racist, belittling, putting people down, that sort of stuff. Required knowledge for this competency is your interpretation of drawings and specs. You've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to look at a drawing and with a specification list and be able to understand what it's asking you to do on the site without having to ask somebody else. Job safety analysis and safe work method statements. You've got to understand the safety requirements that get put into those documents. Manufacturing and assembling processes in constructing componentry units. So you'll have those things that you need to do, you'll understand those. Measuring and marking processes and techniques related to assembling units. What are the measuring processes that you need to be able to do to set out a wall frame that's going to be put up later? You assemble it on the ground, you make sure you've got it marked out all correctly. You've got to have those skills. and knowledge. Temporary bracing techniques. That comes down to that one where you go, things that get disassembled safely. How can you put up two framing units that need to meet and temporarily brace them until they are secure, and then be able to remove that bracing without damaging the unit. And workplace and equipment safety requirements, what's the PPE you need, how to use something safely, how to make sure everything's done on site properly.